10 reasons men stare at women. Why do men stare at women? First, it's not just a guy thing, it's a human thing, it's a natural reaction. Men stare at women because they are naturally wired to do so. Most women find themselves staring at shirtless men or guys in the gym for their own reason as well. Hello beautiful, it's your girl, Fulu. Welcome to Female Affairs. Consider subscribing, turn on the post notification bell, and don't forget to like and leave a comment, okay? You might find it uncomfortable or embarrassing when a guy stares at you, but it's usually not for an inappropriate or negative reasons. It's just human nature. We are all visual creatures and we are naturally drawn to things we find attractive. Humans are instinctively drawn to gaze at things that draw us in. But to answer the question, why do men stare at women? Here are the reasons why. Number one, men are visually stimulated by the female form. Men are more visual creatures than women. The human brain is wired to respond to certain stimuli in certain ways. For men, one of those stimuli is the sight of a woman's body. Men's brain are programmed to appreciate and recognize the sight of a woman's body. This is why men stare at women when they walk by, why men stare at women in magazines, and why men are so fascinated by female celebrities. Men are just naturally drawn to visual stimulation, and women's body offers an abundance of it. Number two, they find women attractive. We look at beautiful things because they make us feel good. A man can see a woman's beauty in her face, her hair, her clothes, and even the way she walks. It sounds simple, but there is actually a lot of science behind it. Men are wired to be attracted to women, and this attraction is based on physical characteristics. Men are attracted to women's faces, bodies, voices, and many other physical traits. So when a man sees a woman who has these characteristics, he is drawn to her, even if he doesn't know why he feels this way. When a man sees a beautiful woman, he wants to look at her for as long as possible. This isn't staring in a creepy way. It's more like when you think someone is cute and want them to know it. If, as a woman, you find a man staring at you from across the room, across the table, or even from behind a computer screen, it's because the man finds you attractive on some level. Number three, men are afraid of women. It's just men and women on this planet until scientific discovery proves otherwise. No other human species exists on Earth. As nature dictates, men and women have to date, marry each other, reproduce, raise their offspring together, and be friends with each other. On a primal level, men are terrified of women because they have a hard time understanding women. So they try to assert dominance over the woman by staring at her. Why do men feel the need to assert dominance over women? Because they are afraid of being dominated. Men stare because they want women to feel uncomfortable and vulnerable so that the men can feel powerful in comparison. Number four, to determine if she's interested in them. Staring is an instinctive way for a human to find out if someone is interested in us. Men stare at women to determine their level of interest in them, both physical and emotional. If he likes what he sees, he will continue to stare until she notices him staring. If she looks back, they approach because they assume she's also interested. So a man who is interested in woman will stare at her longer than one who is not interested. Number 5, they are trying to figure them out. Sometimes, for most men, women are a mystery. It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube or an escape room puzzle. It takes time and patience to figure out what makes them tick. And there are lots of different types of women. Some of us are more complicated than others, but we all require some form of attention in order to get our gears turning properly. So men stare at us because they can't figure us out. We are mysterious. Number 6, because he's interested in her. A man stares at a woman because he's interested in her. It's as simple as that. Sometimes men have been socialized from birth to stare at women as a way of showing interest or admiration for them. While you might feel self-conscious about his attention, remember that staring is typically just a way for men to express interest without having to say anything. A sort of "I'm here and I like what I see, sit down." Number 7, you look like someone else that he knows. Men stare at women because they think they look like someone they know. So a man may stare at a woman who looks like their mother, sister, or girlfriend, and then they will fixate on her until she actually looks like that person. Studies shows that men are more likely to be attracted to women who remind them of someone else, which makes sense because our brains are wired to keep us safe in the world by remembering people we know. Number 8, men stare at women because it makes them happy. It's not just because they are horny or because they want to sleep with them or even because they are just being rude. It's because looking at a beautiful woman can make a man feel good at himself. When a man stares at a woman who interests him, his brain releases dopamine, a chemical that gives him pleasure and makes him feel good about himself. This triggers him to keep staring at her until she catches him looking at her or turns away. So when a man stares at a gorgeous woman, he is reminded that he is human and also reminded of his own masculinity. Number 9, to mark their territory, men are biologically programmed to want to dominate other men in order to gain status and prove their manhood. This means that when men see a woman who is attractive, they feel compelled to stare at her because it allows them to assert their dominance over other men who might be looking at the same woman. Number 10, which is the last one, men stare because they have insecurity issues. They are afraid of being rejected by someone who is attractive than them. They don't want to look like a fool or an idiot in front of someone who is prettier than they are. So they look away and hope no one notices them staring. They are worried they are not good enough or might never be good enough. They are afraid of being rejected or being left behind, and so they stare at women because they hope that if they look hard long enough and with just the right amount of intensity and longing in their gaze, maybe then they can have whatever they think will make them feel more secure. In conclusion, men stare at women for various reasons, but most of the time it's just because they can, just as women can stare at men too. I hope you find this video reasonable. If you do, kindly like, share, leave a comment and subscribe if you have not. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.